Washington XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you in. Glad you're along for the ride on our special Thursday here and live at Firehouse Subs, a brand new partner of the Jaguars. And we are glad to be here with our friends from Firehouse Subs here on University Boulevard. Frangie, Hayes Carlyon, JJ LaSelva back at World Headquarters. Let me announce this right now with all of America listening, okay? And I'm going to say it because sometimes someone's got to say it. You're in Inglewood territory right now. You're less than a mile from the school. I'm not sure you're tough enough for this show.
I'm not
if you need to leave right now, nobody will say anything.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Because I'm just saying, I mean, this isn't Bowles territory right here, okay? Yeah. Nobody. Now, we drove a lot of the Buicks like you did. Okay, just so you know that. So this isn't exactly Bowles territory here, but we are here. We are glad to be here with our friends at Firehouse Subs. It's a fantastic location, one of the early ones, and they have reopened it now. And what a relationship they've got with the Jaguars. Let me tell you some details here. All right, number one. They're giving away, and you're going to hear me right when I say this, a sub for a year. Subs for a year.
Wow.
How about that?
That's 365 subs.
I think you get one a week is I think the plan, but you get subs for you get a chance to get subs for a year here.
That's
all
awesome.
Kind of fun giveaways. We're here till 4:00 today. Then we're not the stars.
Yeah,
okay?
we're the warm up.
Yeah, but then the Jag folks will come out. Players are going to be here. The Roar's going to be here. The Drumline's going to be here. And yes, because you were wondering, Jackson DeVille will be here. All coming today. So a fun day as Firehouse Subs partner with the Jaguars. They're certainly proud of their partnership with the Jaguars, and they're celebrating it today. We're on University Boulevard. We are just a hair. Is this north? Or is that west?
Do
north?
I look like Magellan?
It's north.
I have no idea.
I think we're a hair north of Barnes Road. North, right? Thank you. There's one smart person in the group. Thank you very much. Okay, we knew. I had it down.
I'm not sure I'm in Jackson.
I had it down.
You can never ask me sense of direction.
No, I had it narrowed down to north, south, east, west. Okay,
25% chance.
It was one of the four.
Yeah.
So we are just north of Barnes Road on University. So come on by and say hello. And it's a fun day. Win subs for a year. All kind of fun giveaways and meet some fun people in the Jaguar world. All that comes up today. So I'm ready for game day, bro. I know I got 3 or 4 more days, but I'm ready for game
hours.
day. Spent a little time down at the stadium today. I know you've been down there. You know what I need is, if you have a chance to get down there, I know you're doing the show now, but if you can slip down there, I'd love to hear from maybe the best player on the team, Brian Thomas Jr. Can you get down there and get him?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. Can I have it like within 20 minutes?
You can have it in 20 seconds.
How about that?
Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm back. Got it.
The Flash. We will hear from Brian Thomas Jr. Hayes caught up with him. One of the best players on the team. We got a loaded up show for you today. Greg McGarrity's going to come by to our location here. Greg's not afraid. Greg's tough enough for an Inglewood area. Okay. Greg's kind of a ram at heart. So Greg's going to come by and say hello. Our second Gator Bowl college football report. Boys, he got a lot to talk about from last week. I know you'll get the board out of him, right? He's got to be a board by now.
Absolutely.
So Greg McGarrity on his way here. He'll be here shortly.
I think we can probably take North Carolina off that board.
You probably can. I will ask Greg about that. But Greg McGarrity here, he comes by momentarily. So we look forward to seeing him. 2:15, 3:15, by the way. Lee Smith, we're going to talk a little Ryder Cup. We're going to talk about the European team. We're going to talk all about golf as we wrap up a fantastic golf season. Lee will join us by phone today, but we will have Lee Smith, and we're looking forward to that. In between that, you'll hear from Brian Thomas Jr. Hayes has headlines. We have all kind of fun stuff going on in the program, and we are thrilled that you are with us today on the show. I am ready for Jags-Panthers. I am ready for what I think is going to be, I'll say it now, I think maybe one of the most physical, I'm going to say the most physical Jaguar team since 17. Physical. We'll see if they're good, but I think they have really talked about the importance of physicality, toughness, and I think we'll see if they accomplish it. But I just hearing Liam at the pressers, talking to Tony in the offseason before they even started drafting or signing players, I just get the feeling that improving the team's physicality will be a big part of who they are.
I think without a doubt. And again, I think it's that ground game. They've got a really healthy stable of backs, guys that can hurt you in a variety of ways. As we get closer to kickoff, starting to get a vibe that maybe all 4 are active, which I think is going to be really interesting. But again, it's just I can see how, and I give Liam Cohen credit if that's the decision that he's evolved to, because 2 weeks ago we're talking about one guy's going to be inactive. Liam was like, well, we'll only keep 3 up on game day. But I think as they've gotten more into what they have, you can throw a lot of different problems with Etienne, Bigsby, Tootin, and LaQuinn Allen. So I was excited to hear that, Liam the other day kind of left it more open-ended.
Is that the word now you're
I
hearing?
think the word is that it's probably going to be all 4 of them up.
Yeah,
and it's going to start with the line and the blocking and the physicality, obviously, like you're talking about. But I also think Tootin and LaQuinn Allen could be something special.
Yeah.
The combination of Bigsby and Tootin from a physical could be special. The combination of Etienne with Allen from a pass catching, pass protection standpoint, I think gives you a lot of options. So I think Carolina is going to have a lot of difficulty. We'll see. They may stop it, but I think that's going to be a big challenge, trying to slow down what the Jaguars can generate at that running back position.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so. Listen, if you're wondering why we're discussing it, Liam Cohen said a couple weeks ago you can only dress 3. So he's got a real challenge on who not to dress, who doesn't get a jersey. And we all talked about it at length. I wouldn't be surprised at what you're hearing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's correct too, if all 4 are up, because they all 4 can do different things, and you have a really good running back. We'll see. They'll announce that on Sunday. You don't have to announce who your inactives are, so you probably won't know that definitively until Sunday. But I wouldn't be surprised if you're right about that. So we'll see. I can also tell you, I'm excited about seeing the offensive line. I think they've now settled on their 5. I'm excited about the fact that they've done enough to improve their defensive tackle position. I'm still not sure it'll be great, but I think I feel better about it than I did 2 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So you add all this up to say I like the team, I like where they are, I like where I think they're going to be, and I'm very excited about what I think they're going to bring to the table. So Jags and Panthers, I'm glad there's college football on Saturday. You ready for this? I'm going to play golf tomorrow.
How about that?
I usually don't play in the fall, and I might even play 9-hole Saturday. I just got to get to Sunday, man.
Yeah.
I got the Gators at 4:00 in the afternoon. It's not a great college weekend.
It's not.
So are you like that? I can't. I got to get to Sunday, man. I am chomping at the bit.
I am. I absolutely. Now I'm really excited about tonight's game. Eagles Cowboys. I'm excited about Chiefs Chargers tomorrow night.
Me too.
So there's enough, and then you got the Gators on Saturday. And we'll see. I'm anxious to see what all the local teams do, but I think they're not going to be really tested.
Yeah.
But certainly Florida could be against South Florida. And, I'll take a peek at Michigan, Oklahoma. I'm curious, even though
that's the best one of the weekend.
By a mile. It's the only featuring 2 ranked teams. So, there's enough that will distract me to get me to Sunday. But, I can't wait. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's just so much fun when the Jaguars are good, and hopefully they have harnessed the right things and are led by the right people. And, it could be a slow process, and if it is, it is. But it also could be fast. And boy, that'd be great if they can win Sunday and really get off to a great start.
All right, we're going to start with college football. Do want to remind you, do want to thank our friends from Stanley Pools, by the way. Always a Stanley Pools Thursday. I talked to my buddy Greg Stanley yesterday, as a matter of fact. Boy, that company's doing great. Since 1988, they have been they've been the pool company in Jacksonville, the pool builders, the backyard builders, the people to service your pool. My friends at Stanley Pools do such a good job. 269-904-269-7277. If you want to learn more about them, give them a call. They do an outstanding job. Always the Stanley Pools Thursday. And this particular Thursday, to celebrate 904 Day, in honor of it, Firehouse Subs is debuting their new Jag Stack with Duval Drizzle. And they have a brand new partnership They have a great partnership with the Jaguars that they're very excited about. They're excited about that partnership, and they're celebrating it here at their University Boulevard location, just north of Barnes Road. They're going to have Jaguar players later, the Roars coming by, the drum lines coming by, all kind of fun stuff. It's going to be a Jaguar celebration day from now all the way till about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. So this is the place to be if you're getting ready for football over the weekend. Firehouse Subs on University Boulevard. We hope you will head on by. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll kick this thing off with our pal Greg McGarity. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl. A lot of college football to talk after this.
The Frangie Show
From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Open the weekend early with Pregame Friday.
Anything you want to add to this?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
That's all I ever think about.
Pregame Friday.
Built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
He thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Find out if he does.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to brandonroofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Frank Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The College Football Report is presented each week by the Gator Bowl with Executive Director Greg McGarity. Here's Greg with the Frangie Show crew.
All right, we're glad you're with us here at Firehouse Subs on University. I was corrected. We're a little bit north of Terry Road. We're probably a mile north of Barnes Road. You think I'd know that, wouldn't you?
You would think.
You would think. You know, that's what I get for saying Hayes isn't tough enough, and he's not tough enough. Let me have it saying, Greg, we're in Inglewood territory. Hayes is a Bowls guy.
Yeah. Okay.
He couldn't have hung here. Okay, I'm just saying. And you know what? And he admits to it. I respect the guy that admit. Okay, Inglewood's right down. You know, Inglewood's right down the road here. Okay, so that's my place. So good, Greg McGarity here from the Gator Bowl. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Great. All is well.
What a weekend. What a first weekend.
Wow. TV ratings showed that I don't know how many games had 10 million viewers and then 16 million watching the Ohio State-Texas game. It's obviously people love college football is showing up in the ratings.
I think of all the things we had this conversation, my guess is you probably felt similarly. Nothing jumped off the page in week one more than the Seminoles. I thought they were, my goodness, were they good. And nobody saw that. Even if you saw them finding a way to shock the world and win the game, nobody saw them gutting Alabama like that.
Yeah, I don't think they had many penalties. I didn't check the stats. I don't think they had any turnovers that made a difference if they had one.
Yeah.
So they played a really clean game, and I think they shocked Alabama with their physicality in the beginning, and I think they set the tone. Even though Alabama had that long drive, FSU coming back to score quickly was a huge part of that game.
And on the Alabama side of it, boy, they've got a lot of work to do.
Well, I've always said that the difference, you make such a difference in your team between week 1 and 2, and they play Louisiana Monroe this week. So, we'll see how they respond. I mean, if they crush them and play error-free ball, it'll really be interesting to see if they don't have success early, what the fans will do. So a lot of dynamics there.
I assume you know Greg Byrne.
Yes. Yes.
My guess is you know him well.
Yep.
And so, and I know it's early. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we all read social media. We all know that people are chirping now, even though he's only one game into year 2, and I know that. What right now, if you're in that athletic director's office, are you getting emails left and right? I mean, you would know this better than any of us would. Are you getting emails? Are boosters calling? Is everybody calm? Are you having to have meetings to calm everybody? What's going on in Greg Byrne's chair today?
Well, you're dealing with your staff first to just have a calming effect.
Okay.
You're not jumping overboard or anything. It's really interesting, and I really hadn't thought of it till right now, but I'm not really sure who was involved in the decision to hire Kalen DeBoer.
Okay.
I mean, when I was at Georgia, there was no interference. I mean, it was me and the president, and that was it. Now, there might be boosters involved. There may be certain people that are swinging things. So I don't know the dynamics on that campus, who the decision makers are, and it may be Greg and their president. They have a new president now. So I just think it depends on what the dynamics are, but he's certainly not in panic and trying to block out the noise unless there's some people that really he owes comments to from certain people that might have been involved in the front end.
Excuse me, I want you to expound on that for a second. You were 2 places. You were Georgia and you were Florida. Well, I know nobody told Jeremy Foley who to hire.
Right.
I mean, I can promise you nobody told Jeremy Foley who to hire.
Right.
And you're telling me something that I didn't know, but I'm glad to hear, is that you and the president made those hires. There wasn't some rich booster from Sea Island that picked up the phone and said, Greg, I expect you to. There was none of that.
Absolutely. Unequivocally.
So both places you were at.
Absolutely.
What's your opinion, and I don't mean school by school, but is that normally the case, or are there schools where the Bobby Louders of the world at Auburn tell them what to do? Well, what do you? I mean, honestly, what do you think? How does that? Is there a lot of that?
I think at certain campuses there are individuals that are invested to a certain level that maybe an AD owes some inside baseball knowledge to, or things of that nature. But it's like when Jeremy and I were together and working on that. When it comes time to fire someone, all those people that might have been recommending somebody, they're gone. So you're the one that has to make the decisions to hire and fire. But in both those scenarios, in all those scenarios, the presidents listen to the athletic directors. Of course, the presidents had to approve it.
Right.
But I'm just proud to say there was no interference, at least in my situation, on hiring or firing. Others knew that if that entered the discussion, that I was not going to pay attention to
I'll
that.
say, Hayes, you've heard me tell the story before. I ask this all the time. Your first year at Florida was
92.
Okay, so you weren't there yet.
Right.
I can tell you the story that Steve Spurrier told me, is that when he was at Duke and everybody knew he was a hire, there was some belief in some areas that Bill Arnsparger didn't want to hire him. Bill Arnsparger might have wanted to hire Mike Archer. Do you remember this? And so Arnsparger went to Durham to offer him the job. But Bob Bryan, who was the interim president at the time, they made everybody involved, Bob included, made sure that Bob went with him to make sure he got the offer right. Steve told me the story. I mean, so I mean, isn't that interesting the way that it plays out sometimes?
Well, it had. You remember the Auburn fiasco with Bobby Petrino?
Yes.
There was several boosters on that flight, along with David Hauser, that went up there. So, you know, there are a lot of things that you hear about. I don't know if they're true or not. I just know in personal situations there, especially at Florida, Jeremy had the autonomy to do what he thought was best, and it was a great lesson to learn for me going forward.
I thought Miami looked incredible. What a win. Because Notre Dame, I thought, played a pretty good game. What does that say about the ACC to have not just Florida State, but have Miami go get a signature win as well?
Yeah, that was the signature win for them, as well as FSU in the non-conference games and everything. I really thought it was interesting the halftime comments of Coach Freeman by saying that Carson, they were not able to pressure him, and so he was back there, and he was saying, if I heard him wrong, correct me, but he said we've got to have pressure with 4. Mm-hmm. If that was not going to be possible, then they were going to be in trouble. So I'm just thinking, I'm not sure Carson Beck had a hand laid on him until he made that throw off his back foot, which the Daniels made an unbelievable catch. But, you know, I think teams are going to scheme a little bit differently to maybe pressure people. So, but still, I mean, I was more impressed probably defensively more with Miami than offensively.
Yeah, Miami I said they looked very complete to me.
Yep.
They looked like I thought both those teams are really good. I mean, I think they're both playoff contenders, so it'll be interesting to see. Could you tell anything from Georgia or Florida that had easy wins? Florida really easy because they played a really bad team. Did you gather anything from that?
No, I think this is just very hard to really evaluate when you're not pressed and you pretty much are overpowering your opponent both ways. And, you know, I think there was only one touch. I think Marshall had one touchdown and Long Island State had 0.
Right.
So it's just hard to evaluate that. But there'll be some tests coming up pretty soon, especially Florida this weekend with South Florida.
We talked about last week some of those ACC versus Big 12.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech gets a big win at Colorado. And we talked about Auburn beat on the SEC side.
2 big
Auburn
games
got a
there.
big win for you.
The SEC had a great weekend except for Texas and Alabama.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 14 other teams won their home game. And like you said, there were some matchups there. Tennessee winning their ACC matchup. South Carolina winning their ACC matchup. Baylor Auburn going to Baylor and the way they won and really kind of dominated the game. I think it was an impressive weekend for the SEC. And even though Texas lost, I mean, they got the ball down, couldn't punch it in. So a lot of things going good for both conferences, which bodes well for us.
Yeah, the only bad performance by the SEC was Alabama. And FSU might turn out to be pretty dang good, which softens that a little too.
Yep.
What about North Carolina, bro?
You know, that was after the first drive, everybody was so excited, but I think TCU showed their leadership, their veteran. They got a great quarterback. I think you could see the dam was going to burst there after the next 3 possessions. I think Carolina had 3 and out.
Yeah.
So you knew Texas Christian was going to make some adjustments, and with a quarterback of that guy's stature, you know, they just overtook them, and it really wasn't a game after that first drive.
Everybody's been, me included, all of us, really been beating on North Carolina, and they deserve it. But TCU's better than I realized. They won 9 games last year. They returned their quarterback. He's a good coach. You know, they're only 2 or 3 years removed from being in the championship game.
Yeah.
So they're probably better. And I like what Sonny Dykes said afterwards that you saw. We all saw it. He said, look, nobody was talking about us. He said, everyone's talking about this game. I don't think people even realized we were coming. You know? And so I don't know how much that on a regular basis works, but it really worked. It really served them well in this game.
And don't sleep on the Big 12 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some really talented teams this year. So it'll really be interesting to see how, when that first ranking comes out in November, whenever the date is, on if the Big 12 continues to have that level of success, it's going to be really interesting to see how many teams they get up.
Oklahoma plays Michigan Saturday, Oklahoma an SEC team. But because of proximity, are they a team that you monitor much, or it would take something really weird for them to end up in Jacksonville because of the distance, or could we have the Sooners here?
Hey, this proximity thing didn't hold water last year.
Yeah.
So,
good
the
point.
number of wins trumped the locality. Now, hope that the trend goes back to having someone that's local. I mean, it's time for us to have an Eastern team or an Alabama or Auburn in play.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that happen. So you watch it. I mean, Missouri's going to have a great year. Their schedule's not that difficult. Oklahoma, it's just going to be interesting to see how all that stuff plays out because there's so much parity, and you've got really a great set of quarterbacks in the SEC that I don't think you've ever had that much depth. I mean, even Diego at Vandy is one of the best quarterbacks. So really a lot of depth in the SEC quarterbacks.
Greg, does blue blood status make up for geography a little bit? I mean, I would think I'm not sure I want Missouri or Kentucky, but I might be okay with Oklahoma. TV ratings, a whole bit. Does it work like that or no?
Yeah, I mean, we have three legs to stand on. We've got our ESPN revenue.
Right.
We've got our title sponsor revenue, and we have ticket sales.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have a team that's local.
I get it.
One or two less losses.
Yeah.
And would Oklahoma travel? I don't know. I thought Ole Miss would travel better than they were here.
Right.
Better than they were, but Duke and Ole Miss, neither team traveled at well. So I'd like to see a team on the rise. I'd like to see a team that can drive here and get here pretty easily.
And you've said that, and since you've been in the chair, you said, give me a close-by team that can drive here.
I would think, again, with Florida's schedule, I mean, unless they've got just something like one of the best teams they've ever had, which maybe they do,
right?
But it's going to take that to avoid at least 3 losses with this schedule, you would imagine.
That's right.
9-3, Florida misses the playoff. They're a good chance they're here.
Hey, I wish there were 5 or 6 teams that had 9 or 10 wins because they're all not going to get in. So that just strengthens our pool that much more. The more teams that win, especially those that are local. So I'd love it if Florida had 9 or 10 wins let's say they were not able to get in. Then would the Citrus Bowl pick them first? I'm not sure they got their first pick, and then the rest is up for grabs.
Did you see Brett McMurphy's first one?
No.
Did you see it? Brett McMurphy's bowl predictions? Did you see it?
No. Who's he got?
He came out. Florida, Georgia Tech.
That'd be a great game.
When I saw that, I said,
can we sign that now?
I said, I wonder if Brett called Greg because when I saw Florida, Georgia Tech, the Gator Bowl would sign up for that right now.
Auburn, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, right. But he said Florida. He said
that'd be great.
He said Florida. Can you imagine? Florida, Georgia Tech might sell it out.
That'd be
you might sell the thing. However many tickets you have to sell, you may sell them all.
It'd be the first big game Georgia Tech's played in a big bowl in quite some time. They were stuck in Birmingham Bowl last year.
Yeah, and right now, and I say this because you're one of my buddies, so don't take it wrong. I don't want you to have Florida today, okay? Okay, all right?
I understand.
Okay, my degree's from there.
Yeah, in 5 weeks, we might be begging.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good. Yeah. Forget what I said back then.
Right. Yeah.
Forget. What about that? When do you start scouting games? When do you send people out?
Well, we have people out this week. We've got scout going to Texas. Got scouts going to Oklahoma. They're all over the place.
Okay.
So that's what makes it great for our membership. They're able to pick a couple of games to go scout.
Yeah.
So this week they're out. We have somebody at North Carolina State. We had somebody at the North Carolina game Monday. So we're all over the place. But that makes it fun for our members to be able to go scout a game.
Yeah. You think can North Carolina fix that, or is that just an abomination? What do you think? You.
I think it's an abomination.
Yeah,
I love the guy, but I think it's an abomination.
What do you think, Greg?
I don't know.
Is that fixable?
It's really going to be interesting to see how they do week 2 and 3 and how they can rebound from this.
Yeah, I really do think TCU is a decent team. I think they're pretty good.
I do too.
I think you're going to look up in November. They're pretty good. I mean, they look like a pretty good team.
8 or 9 wins. I agree.
It wasn't all North Carolina being a disaster.
Right.
But I think what you do, Hayes. I think it's hard for me to watch that. And I'm glad Max Johnson got into play.
Yes.
And I was a little surprised why he wasn't the starter.
Yeah.
Now, again, our sample size is what we saw on Monday night. But I'm a little surprised he wasn't the starter.
If they are here, make sure you've got the balloons.
Yeah.
For Belichick's press conference.
We have to. Well, and a suite for the girlfriend. Okay.
I can only imagine the dynamics.
There's a lot of suites down there.
Yeah. I don't know how much red carpet you have. But you might want to double it for Jordan.
Well, going from Lane Kiffin to Bill Belichick, I mean that's pretty strong stuff there.
Yeah, it is. All right, Greg McGarity. He is the executive director of the Gator Bowl. He'll be with us most weeks when you're traveling. Now the word on the street is You're pulling Catlett out of retirement. Is that true?
Hey, anytime we can get Rick to help us out. So I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, and Rick's subbing for me.
How about that? Catlett coming out of retirement.
Man.
I buried the lead
How
here.
about that?
That's the big news, right?
You guys need a 30-minute spot for him, okay? Because he'll certainly talk football.
Yeah, by the way, who you telling? Okay. Trust me on that. We love our friend Rick. Greg McGarity from the Gator Bowl does a terrific job. It's the Gator Bowl College Football Report. We hear it every Thursday right here on the program. Greg, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Brian Thomas Jr., the outstanding second-year receiver from the Jags. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. What is a gemologist?
Frank, that's a good question, because gemologist is a generic title that can be used by anyone, whether they have any gemological training or not. There's also a graduate gemologist, which is somebody that's taken the gemology courses of the Gemological Institute of America and received a diploma. Then there's a certified gemologist of the American Gem Society. They've received the graduate gemologist diploma, have worked in the jewelry business for a minimum of 3 years, and are tested by examination once a year to re-win the certified gemologist title. There's one other aspect that certified gemologists have that others might or might not have, and that's the accredited gemological equipment to be able to make the right grading calls on diamonds and other gemstones. At Underwoods, we have an American Gem Society accredited gem laboratory that our certified gemologists work in, assuring you the quality and value you deserve.
That's Underwoods, Florida's longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Now is the right time to order your holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. This is ET with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow. So call Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
Hey, it's Joe C. Summer in Jacksonville means the sun is hot, the grills are fired up, and your water heater probably full of sludge.
Nah, not mine.
Think, when was the last time you flushed your water heater out? It's okay, you can say it.
Probably never.
Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan.
They sure don't make them like they used to.
So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059 or at plumberinjacks.com. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
My favorite Zeppelin song. I told you that. From the In Through the Outdoor album. Tom Champion, but you had that album, didn't you? It came in a paper bag. Remember that came like in a paper bag? Tom didn't have the album.
Oh, yeah.
Of course Tom had the album. In the 45, too. Was Hot Dog on the other side of the 45? Of course. Okay. We're going to talk about this album, okay?
That's
You
fine.
do what all you want. So
Rock history. We love it.
That is exactly right. Hey, glad you're with us. We're live at Firehouse Subs. Man, they've got a brand new relationship with the Jaguars. And I keep saying that. They have a great relationship with the Jaguars. And in honor of 904 Day, they're excited to debut their brand new Jag Stack. They're also giving away subs for a year. If you come in here, they're going to give it away over the weekend. Come put your name in the box. Big Jags happenings here after we are gone. The Roar's coming by. The D-Line's coming by. Jackson DeVille's coming by. And some Jags players are coming by to sign autographs. So we're at the Firehouse Subs. It's on University Boulevard, just a hair north of Terry Road, a little bit further north of Barnes Road, but right Inglewood territory. I'm telling you. Right back there. You've been to Inglewood, right? I mean, right back there. Like I'm pointing to it. I mean, I could walk to Inglewood from here in about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a stopping ground.
This is your neighborhood. Yeah, and you better believe I'm going to be grabbing one of those New York steamers.
That's your favorite.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I hear you.
If you've never been here and you're coming today, you probably have eaten here before. You haven't. The New York steamer is fantastic.
On Sunday, the Jags play the Carolina Panthers. They're finally on the field. I can't wait for it all to start. And it's a significant game for Brian Thomas Jr. because it's game one of the sophomore season. Can he repeat what he did last year when he went from, I won't say unknown, he was a first-round draft pick, but certainly little known around the league receiver to one of the best receivers in the league. I'll be interested to see if he can replicate that. And Hayes caught up with him earlier the week to talk about season number 2.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars receiver Brian Thomas Jr. here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How's everything going?
Everything's been good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Man, are you excited for Sunday? Finally, we're here, week 1.
Yes, sir. Super excited. Ready to get back going, get back into the season. I'm just super excited for football to be back.
How much fun is it to now have an opponent to break down?
It's super exciting just to be able to have an actual opponent you're going against this weekend. You're not just going against your teammates and stuff like that. So, it's just super excited. It means real football is back.
What stands out about J.C. Horn? What makes him such a talented corner for Carolina?
He's super long and athletic. Super good corner. One of the top corners in the league. He got a great motor. And he just gets after it each and every play.
What's it like, working with Liam Cohen now that we're into a game week? What's sort of the difference in terms of the, focus and the intensity?
Everything's just more locked in. Everything's just more detailed. Just trying to get everybody focused and attention to detail. I would say that's like been the biggest thing. Getting the details down, packed, and just making sure everything is done right in the right way.
I saw Baker Mayfield threw 5 touchdowns in Tampa Bay's second meeting with Carolina last year. Is there anything that you can watch on film from Tampa going against Carolina last year with how Mike and guys like that were utilized, McMillan, that you can kind of pick up on?
Yeah, I definitely watched both of those games just to get an idea to see how Carolina play defense towards our type of offense. So just little things like that, trying to pick up on defensive tendencies, how they line up and stuff like that. Just little things like that, just try to give it an advantage because I know they'll be doing the same thing with us. So just trying to find ways to get an edge, find ways to get an advantage.
You've remained so humble despite becoming an NFL star. What's that process been like for you, and how do you maintain such a grounded personality?
I've been this way my whole life. My parents keep me very humble. They always taught me to be humble. So, I just been this way my whole life, and I'm not going to let little things just change it. So, that's just me. This is my personality, very humble person. But at the end of the day, I know what I can do, and I have confidence in myself. So, yeah.
Can you feel that love from the fan base? Because you've obviously become one of the most popular players on the roster, and how much are you looking forward to getting out and hopefully making a big play in front of them on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do. And I can't wait to get out there and Everbank Stadium and make a play for our crowd, for our fans. Yeah, I'm just super excited just to be back in the bank and get things going.
And LSU beat Clemson.
Yeah, Trevor just walked in. Yeah.
Did you make them do anything? Did you guys make a little friendly wager at all?
Nah.
You're a good dude. That was a big win, though. They look good.
It was definitely a great game, big win for the real Tigers. But yeah, it was definitely a great game. I feel like both sides of the ball played great. Everybody played great. So yeah, I feel like it was a great game. Great win.
Brian, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
He is the most unassuming star player that I've ever. Well, it's not like we've had a litany of them. I will grant you that.
Right.
It's not like I've seen 50 of them in 13 years covering the team. But I mean, he's just sitting in his locker. Like, he comes off as somebody that's an undrafted free agent that's never even played an NFL game.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, it really is remarkable how humble and grounded.
He's a nice kid.
And yeah, all they don't have an arrogance problem in that locker room. I mean, the guys that are the stars, they're all good guys, but they all have sort of an aura and a little bit of a good swagger to them. Brian is like, doesn't have like any of it. I mean, it really is amazing. So I appreciate his time and can't wait to watch what he can do against Carolina defense that really had trouble stopping just about everything last year. So hopefully a big day for Trevor and BTJ.
Stanley Pools Thursday continues. We appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools, 904-269-7277. For all your pool needs, they'll build your pool. They'll renovate your backyard, pavers, and pergolas, you name it. They've done it all for us, and they service our pool as well. The best pool company in town is Stanley Pools. We're live here at Firehouse Subs here on University Boulevard, a little north of Terry Road. All kind of Jag celebrations going on. When we come back, Hayes has headlines. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet, but did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. But when you go to Nimnick, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnick today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnick.
New coaches.
The future. That's truly what's exciting.
New players.
I bring the juice every day.
New season.
We've done some great things this offseason.
This is where the dream begins. And Duval is downright ready.
Time to go.
Now, it's for real. Jaguars, Panthers. Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
Soft takes are boring. That's why I dropped the hammer on the Frangie Show. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You
know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Looking for an engagement ring in Jacksonville? Here's a pop quiz. Which Jacksonville jeweler cuts out the middleman and guarantees the lowest price on any diamond?
I'm thinking it's...
No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 2. Which jeweler in the town center has thousands of designer engagement rings and a multi-million-dollar diamond inventory?
I'm gonna say...
No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 3. Which jeweler in Jacksonville offers an unbiased diamond education, a lifetime upgrade, and free maintenance for life?
How about
Dude, you should have learned by now it's Beard's Diamonds. Final question. Which jewelry store in Jacksonville hasn't been sold a few times and is currently not owned by a national conglomerate?
Beard's Diamonds?
Ding, ding, ding. Now you're getting it. Beard's Diamonds guarantees a better selection, an unbeatable price, superior warranties with no corporate rule books, no commission salespeople, and no chain store atmosphere. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's jeweler. St. John's Town Center.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell & Harrell. I got to have lunch with my good buddy Holt today at Island Wings on Southside. We got to break down that intricate Billy Napier offensive playbook. That was a big part of the lunch.
Don't you guys have a watch party coming
We do,
up?
yeah. Gene and I are going over to Holt
The
and
Harrell
Jesse's
watch party,
house.
okay.
Yeah, so to watch the Gators versus the Bulls on Saturday afternoon, so that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I had a good time catching up with Holt today, and as we get ready for Jaguars Sunday. And speaking of that, Frank, we've talked about it, it seems like for eons, but we're 3 days away from a Travis Hunter Jaguars debut. As we get closer, how do you think it's going to go for him on Sunday?
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I'll tell you what I've said from day one. I said this when they drafted him, or 2 weeks after, and I'll stand my ground on it. I think he's going to be offense first. I think he's going to play defense on get off the field downs. I've been saying that since, I think, the first week of May. My mind hasn't changed on that. I think he will help the defense. I think he'll be in there some defensively, but I think he will impact the team mostly as an offensive player. Having said all that, the fact that you got an offensive player who plays a bunch of defensive plays, and we'll see if and I don't know, by the way, no one's giving me any tips on that. I'm just telling you my opinion because it hasn't changed since they drafted him. But I can't wait to see the two-way player. I mean, it's a really cool thing that there's a two-way player and he plays for this team. I'm excited about a bunch of other stuff too, but that's a big part of it.
The coordinators talked to the media on Thursday. Not often that each coordinator can talk about the same player, but that is what we got today. We'll start on that offensive side of the ball. This is offensive coordinator Grant Udisky talking about Travis Hunter's progression as a receiver.
I think for any rookie, usually the most strides is going to be mentally learning a new system, whether it's coming from a spread system in college or a pro system in college. There's a lot to learn. So probably I should say that for rookies or a new player, a free agent signing, those strides are always going to be biggest mentally. It's tough for a guy to show what he can do and show all his physical capabilities when he's still trying to think about where am I lining up, what am I doing, what's my job. So just his ability to go out there and line up and play fast, I think shows with his technique and some of the different things you see as a receiver.
And I will tell you, the word I do hear when I do spend time down there, including today, he's done a pretty good job. He's done a pretty good job of it. Listen, he's not going to know the offense and what defensive players do and what NFL defensive coordinators do until he's played in some games. There's no replacement for that. But to be as far along as you could, I guess this is the way it was said to me. How far along can you possibly be when you've yet to play an NFL game? He's about there. He's done a really good job. He's worked very hard to learn the offense. And again, you don't know what NFL defensive coordinators are going to scheme against you until you've done it. You don't understand. No matter how many people tell you in the NFL all the defensive backs are good, you don't know it. You can't feel it till you've played it. But given what you could know now, he's done a pretty good job.
I would agree. I think, watching him throughout training camp, operationally, he was in a good place. I mean, particularly for a rookie trying to take on what he's trying to take on. Let's get to that defensive side of the football. Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile says Travis Hunter is progressing at corner.
I mean, I think he was well coached in college, but I think he's made a really big jump, big progression from where he started at to where he is now. And it's, continuing to evolve and doing a good job. He's doing the extra, like I talk to whenever you guys ask, trying to tell you that, he's doing extra, pulling double duty. So really impressed with that. And it's all from hard work. So it's great to see.
And Hayes, he really, and again, it sounds like we're just everything's sunshine and rainbows. I know that. But it does appear from everything you hear that when you're going to play both ways, you have to put in more time than other guys do. That's common sense. That's if you have to learn 2 playbooks and every other rookie has to learn 1 playbook, it's harder for you. It just takes more time. If everybody else is in math class and you're in math and science class, you're going to have to study longer. That's common sense. And I hear he's done that. I hear he's the expectations of the time it takes him, and it's taking him to put in time on both sides, that he's done I was told that today. So listen, we'll see how it turns out. But what we've asked him to do, the time we've asked him to invest, he's done.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like saying I'm going to be a rocket scientist and also a chemical engineer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable what he's been able to take on. I mean, they're both scientific fields, but drastically different.
But I mean, I've thought about this. I've thought about, okay, if you have 2 students and one student is only taking a math class and the other student is taking a math class and a science class, well, student 2's got to study more.
Right.
It's common sense.
Yes.
I mean, and that's the world he's been in.
Absolutely. Jags COO Chad Johnson met with reporters today as well, just to kind of give us a reminder about their stadium construction. Again, if you didn't go during the preseason at all, just give yourself a little bit of time, an extra 20, 25 minutes. Your gate may be different. Once you're inside the stadium, everything will be the same. But just kind of be cognizant of the fact that the stadium of the future, the progress has begun. The construction on the outside of the stadium is to support the roof, the covering that will be over the stadium. So just something to keep in mind if you haven't been down to the stadium since last season.
Yeah, I was with Chad a little bit today before he went into that the presser. Chad does a good job of that stuff. He and Mark Lamping both do. But look, the message they're trying to send, and it's a good message, is listen, we understand getting in and out is going to be a little different than it was. We understand that. We know what you're dealing with. But understand 2 things. A, once you get inside, it's the same. B, we're doing this for the greater good. In about 3 years, you're going to be sitting in a stadium you couldn't fathom how great it is. You couldn't fathom it. So understand that this is a means to an end, and they've been very transparent in sending that message.
Let's get to around the NFL. The season gets underway tonight. Dallas at Philadelphia.
They play tonight?
They play tonight.
Real game, regular season?
Regular season. Let's go. It counts. Can the Cowboys pull the upset?
No, they can't. Philadelphia will win the game. I do think there's a bunch of storylines, obviously, but Micah Parsons is the big storyline. The sidebar to that is that the Eagles tried to get him. I thought that was a neat story to come out this week. I think Dallas And by the way, I'm rooting for Shotty's ready to go play. That's what I call Brian Schottenheimer because Steve Spurrier told me one time, we said, what happened to Eric Kressler going? Shotty's ready to go play. So that's all I call him. But I'm kind of rooting for Brian Schottenheimer. I met him a few times when he was in Florida. His dad, God rest his soul, came too, and I got to meet all of them. And I'm rooting for Brian Schottenheimer. But I think Dallas might be in a tough way. I think they may fall off from what they've been. They're not the same 12-win team I don't think they have been. And I think Philadelphia shows no signs of not being everything they have been. So I'd be very surprised if Dallas beat them tonight.
We'll get to a couple NFL notes and then throw it to pop culture. We've got a couple of important injury updates. We'll start in Houston. Defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson does expect to play Sunday against the Rams. He suffered a knee injury a few weeks ago. That's good news for the Texans in a really important Week 1 game in terms of going to L.A. If Houston could get that one, that would be kind of one of those where you feel like you gained a stroke and a half on the field.
You know, I will say this. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been a really interesting story. He's a Florida guy. Went to Florida. Wasn't on great teams there, but played at Florida. He's a really good player. He's chatty. He's the guy that's going to get in a trash-talking match with you. He may get in a fight with you. And because of that, he's been on 3 teams already. He's been on Saints, Eagles, and now Texans already, which is too many for as young as he is. Yeah, he's a really good player. And I think he breathes the energy. He will, if he's healthy, I hate to say it, but he will help the Texans a great deal, I think.
Without a doubt. We mentioned this injury yesterday, but we have a little bit more detail on it today. Jets guard Elijah Vera Tucker will miss the season after tearing his tricep. So just the last thing the Jets needed.
Yeah, you're right. And it's a bad injury for him. I don't think the Jets were headed anywhere this year anyway. But, yeah, you don't need to add to that for sure.
Absolutely. Let's get it to pop culture because we've got a happy anniversary to celebrate. It is the 53rd anniversary of The Price is Right airing. How about that?
Wow. How about that?
It's got to be one of the greatest game shows ever created.
It had to be one of the longest running.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, along with Jeopardy, which was the Jeopardy was different because it required smart people. None of the other ones require smart people. But The Price is Right was great.
Unbelievable.
We didn't love The Price is Right.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Bob Barker hosted the show until 2007. But yeah, fantastic slice of Americana. Happy birthday to The Price is Right.
You know what would make broadcasting better? Broadcasting. If they came back with the mics that are like 2 feet long.
I love it.
I think we all need the mics.
Yeah.
I love those mics.
I'd put that at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Tom. Please order those.
Even if I wasn't on air, I just walk around with it. I'd go into Target with it. Hey, I'm shopping for some paper towels, and this is my mic.
I kind of feel that if you're going to have the thin microphone, I kind of think you got to be in like the suit though.
Yeah. No question.
You got to be like dressed.
Yeah, I mean the real suit.
The real deal. Yeah.
And don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm going to walk up the dailies and put gas in my car and have my big old mic. I love it.
Absolutely. We'll get you out on our musical note of the day because we're going to celebrate another anniversary. The Eurythmics classic Sweet Dreams reached #1 on the Billboard 100 this week. Back in 1983. This for me is a first ballad 80s song.
It's funny you said that. 80s music has a distinct sound to it. I mean, it really.
That's
Duran, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and it had a distinct. You knew it was 80s.
Right.
And this is the poster child, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done as always. We got an hour to go in the program. We're live here at Firehouse Subs here on University Boulevard. Lee Smith from the tour comes by at 3:15 by phone. We'll talk to Lee. But in the meantime, we'll talk more NFL football, even a little college football. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Enlighten your college knowledge before the games begin.
I'm RJ Saunders. We'll break down players, games, and storylines
on the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
Served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
You've waited patiently, and the wait is almost over. NFL football is back.
That's awesome.
Kickoff week on 1010XL is built by KO Electric Heating and Air and Roland Weish Plumbing.
Let the games begin.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. At Showtime, we receive the newest football hobby box releases on Wednesdays and Fridays, and 5 showcases dedicated to football, 3 of which are organized by quarterbacks, running backs, then wide receivers. Open 7 days a week. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Live Like Lou Jack's Baseball Classic is coming back to 5-Star Ballpark February of 2026. Friday the 20th, it's LSU versus Indiana at 2 and UCF versus Notre Dame at 6. Then Saturday the 21st, Notre Dame versus LSU at noon and UCF versus Indiana at 4. Finishing up on Sunday the 22nd with Alabama versus Notre Dame at 11 and LSU versus UCF at 3. It's 89 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
904-269-7277 if you want to call Stanley Pools. They do such a great job. My friend Greg Stanley and his wonderful team, gosh, they have built our pool. They have renovated it. They've done our backyard. They service our pool, and they're just good folks. They're good Jacksonville folks. They have been doing it since 88. We're live here at Firehouse Subs on University Boulevard, just a hair north of Terry Road in that Inglewood area. They're giving away subs for a year. The Jaguar contingent's coming by here. The Roar, the D-Line, Jackson DeVille, all between 4 and 7 tonight, 4 and 8. Players are coming by to sign autographs, a handful of them. So they're celebrating their partnership with the Jaguars here at Firehouse Subs. So we are glad you're doing it. Now, my question. I'm going to the game Sunday. You going?
I'll be there.
So
I mean, God willing.
You decided
I'm planning on
you're
going.
planning on going?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
I'm planning on doing the kickoff show. Can't wait for that at Tailgaters.
Yeah.
So come say hello. ET will be out there with me, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then, heading straight to the stadium.
You know who else is going? The person I'm getting ready to give tickets to.
You've got tickets to
What
the
you're
Jaguars?
thinking is I'm going to give away one ticket.
Well, that obviously.
Okay,
because it's the season opener.
No,
so there can't be very many available.
And what you were saying right now is you say no, Frank. It's obviously a pair.
I mean, maybe it's 2.
And that's because that's how you think.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm short-sighted.
Right. And here's what I'm going to tell you. What if I told you not 1, not 2, not 3? What if I said a 4-pack right now?
Wow.
Jay, did you have a 4-pack in your pocket?
I actually do. That's weird.
I thought you did. Okay, I thought you might have one in there. So if you've got that 4-pack in there that I thought you had, let's give it to caller 3 right now, JJ. Can we do that? You all right with that? 641-1010. Caller 3 right now is getting a 4-pack. That's how I think, Hayes.
That's fantastic.
That's how I think. 4-pack to go see those Jags play, and I really am excited about that. Lee Smith comes up in just a few minutes. Quick thought on college football. How did we get to where we had this bad of a weekend? We got so excited about last week.
I guess it's because maybe conference games start in week 3.
And that's correct. And that the big picture answer is with one more week before conference games. But I would have thought in the past, there's a handful.
It was more balanced.
Yeah, the second week had a bunch of these games too.
Right.
It's got Michigan, Oklahoma, and nothing else.
Yeah.
Usually the second week's got 3 or 4 or 5 of those. First week's got 8 or 9 of them, and the second week's got 3 or 4 of them. Kind of disappointing.
It's a disappointing week. I mean, particularly when you see the action that we had last weekend. Yeah, I mean, it's Michigan, Oklahoma, and then really nothing else. I mean, you can make a case that South Florida is the second best game of the day, and that's a 17.5-point line.
Right.
But it's probably, you've got Florida's ranked 13th, and USF is in the also receiving votes.
Yeah.
But, it's not just like a bad week. We're talking like all the top teams are pretty much playing cupcakes, which like Florida did last week. But it's just it was imbalanced. It was a great week 1, lousy week 2, whereas you would like in future years maybe to have like 3 great games on if you have 6 total great games to work with, instead of having 5 and 1, have 3 and 3, something like that.
Well, next week, starting 1 week later, we have Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida, LSU on the same day.
That's amazing.
On October 4th, we have Texas, Florida, and FSU, Miami on the same day.
That's incredible.
So we have a lot of that coming up. So let me ask you this. As a 1980 graduate of the University of Florida at Gainesville, do I need to worry about this USF game? Do I need to worry a little bit?
Worry a little.
Not a lot of worry a little?
I don't think worry a lot, but certainly if Florida doesn't play well, USF is certainly capable. This is what is scary about USF. They're going to have the intensity advantage because this will be the biggest game of the season for them. For Florida, it's not even on their radar of biggest games of the year. So you worry about that because their sideline will be far more fired up. And that's a challenge for Billy Napier, and maybe he can meet it. Florida's offense is it's a Stone Age scheme. So that always creates the possibility of being in a tight game because Florida offensively might just, not because of their talent, but because of the scheme, they might have a sluggish day.
You think they'll throw any wide receiver screens?
I mean,
2nd and 13.
I would imagine that's a very comfortable play call for Billy Napier.
Okay.
And so, I think because of that, and USF has a quarterback. Shane Matthews hit the nail on the head yesterday on the Frangie show in terms of he is an athletic specimen. I mean, he's physical, he can make things happen, and even against what looks to be a very elite Florida defense in terms of the athleticism, they haven't done that yet. I get it. They've only played Long Island, but it appears to be a lot of really good athletes on the defensive side of the ball. But if you've got a great athlete at quarterback, then that they can still have success. So I wouldn't think, a scale of 1 to 10, my worry level on this game is like a 4. So, but it is there.
But it's not a 0.
And this time last week, it would have been like a 1.
I will say this. I am glad I don't want USF to be good. I want them to be bad so Florida wins easy. But that's off the table now. They're pretty good. But if they're going to be pretty good, I'm glad they didn't beat Akron or Buffalo last week. I'm glad they beat Boise handily, and I'm glad it was on television because that got everybody's attention. If Florida loses, it won't be because they're asleep at the wheel, because we all now know USF's pretty good. Alex Gole's pretty good coach. That quarterback's pretty good. That looked like a good team. I mean, 34-7 over Boise is a legit win now. I mean, I got a hunch if Oklahoma had played Boise last week, it'd have been 34-7, right? I mean, you're right. I don't know if Texas or Georgia might have beat them worse, but I think one of these ranked 12th, 13th ranked teams, don't you think?
Yeah.
Tennessee would have beat them 41-7. So that was a legit win.
And I think that's the kind of the card that Napier is playing this week is the Tennessee that you just mentioned, like the connection that this USF staff has to the Heupel staff.
Goles was there.
Yes, and the way that they play. So I think he's done a good job of utilizing that card in the media, which means he's certainly using it in the locker room of you need to view these guys like you would view Tennessee in terms of how they play. And then hopefully in introducing that idea to your players, then it also comes along with the animosity that you have towards Tennessee.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into golf just for a moment or two. Lee Smith's our golf analyst. He's the executive director of the Players Championship. He does a great job talking golf with us. He's our golf analyst. He joins us by phone after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's Jacksonville's official tape checker.
I'm Jeff Lodman.
And he tells you about it Tuesdays during football season on Jaguars Today. Inspected by. Go to the Pros Napa Know-How. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com on 1010XL.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all 3 events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Bari here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Bari Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. While we've earned the reputation as North Florida and South Georgia's preeminent official Rolex jeweler, it's important to point out that at Underwoods we carry other watches too. We start with Seiko, the most reliable, serviceable watch made for under $500. And they've started making jeweled, self-winding watches again, and sports watches you'd have to see to believe. Next we have Tavan, the Swiss-made ladies and men's and dress and sport watches, and they start at $575. Another name we carry is Tudor, inspired by Rolex with the same founder and owner, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And their sport watches and chronographs are the rage in Swiss timekeeping, with new in-house watch movements and exciting new model introductions every year. So if you're interested in watches, we have what you want at Underwoods, and all of our watches carry a 5-year warranty. At Underwoods, in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops upon Avedra.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails. All in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Rooter, so can you.
Hidden Hills Golf Club wants you to know that our fall twilight rates are here. Plenty of time to get your round in before sunset for just $35 on weekdays and $39 on weekends starting at 2 p.m. Visit hiddenhillsgc.com to book today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Sunshine Turf, the highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices.
And the truth is you can afford it. You can afford that putting green in your yard. You can afford that turf underneath the playground for your kids. They do a really good job. You ought to give them a try. Call them at 904-383-0243. Caleb and his team, they're so good. They just built a brand new football field at our Walk-Off Charities Ballpark, Fort Family Regional Park, and they do a fantastic job. Give them a call, Sunshine Turf. We do appreciate them. Lee Smith joins us now by phone. Lee, you're kind of at a cool event involving Feeding Northeast Florida. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's really cool, Frank. Thanks for having us again. 904 Day is certainly special in the community and Northeast Florida, and that's no different for the Players Championship. We were fortunate a couple months ago to make a $1 million gift to Feeding Northeast Florida and name the Players Center for Nutrition Security and Community Solutions at their brand new distribution center downtown that just is what we feel like is a significant investment into the health and resilience of the community. And we were there today volunteering. We had about 100 volunteers. Our proud partners, Comcast Business, Optum, and Morgan Stanley, provided about 30 volunteers, staffed the PGA Tour, another 20, and then about 50 from our volunteer team at the Players Championship, getting a tour of the facility and filling snack bags and really doing some good for the community, which certainly is a 52-week endeavor for the Players Championship, and one of those things that's a lot of fun to do.
Well, that is really cool because, and I'm glad you told us the full story, because in addition to writing a bunch of checks to help charities here in town, and nobody does a better job than the Players, you also had a bunch of boots on the ground. Now, a lot of people not just writing checks, but volunteering and helping, which is the cool thing, Lee, and I mean that very sincerely. So thank you from many of us in the community who are always affected so positively by the tour and by the Players, and that's a big deal. So thank you for that. I want to get to some golf. Luke Donald has his team. They're the opponent. The Ryder Cup team, Team Europe, is set. What'd you make of it? What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, look, I thought they were pretty safe and probably prudent decisions in his picks between, Shane Lowry and John Rahm and Victor Hovland and others that, it really gave you the feeling that he was kind of looking at a couple years ago and just wanted to run it back from Rome. And why not? You've got he's got the camaraderie amongst the team. They've got success on home soil in Rome. And, I think Rory McIlroy made the comment that it might be one of the biggest, if not the biggest achievements in golf is to win a Ryder Cup away from home. And so I think he felt very comfortable with a very similar team to what he had in Rome and making the choices that he did. I thought they were certainly safe. But at the same time, you add in Ludwig Oberg and Matt Fitzpatrick to that group, and the success that they had in Rome. I think it's only it ripens it even more for a great competition and a great follow-up 2 years ago.
Lee, when we were talking last week, you seemed confident in the U.S. Is that in fact the case? And if so, kind of can you explain why you're confident that this will go well for the Americans?
Well, I am American, Hayes, so that's probably where it starts. I think it's one of those things. I think there's just been a lot of things fall into place, and I think Keegan making the decision that he did, I think allows our group of players to rally around. I'm not going to use the we're higher ranked and better on paper, because that hasn't necessarily worked in the past. But I think the choices that he made was kind of choosing experience and current form. Very similar to the European team. It sounds like 10 out of 12 of our players are going to be together at the Pro Corps Championship next week to, get a tune-up and be all together and practice together and start working on pairings and, some things that listeners, at home that may not grasp sometimes is in that alternate shot, figuring out what golf ball to use. Everybody gets different traits, spin rates and launches and everything out of a golf ball. But when you play that team game in alternate shot, you've got to decide that I'm not going to use my golf ball. We're going to use the partner's golf ball. So I think similar to what the Europeans are doing at the BMW Championship across the pond, I think the opportunity for our players to experiment with golf balls, experiment with pairings, and really sharpen the knife in competition, I think says a lot. And then maybe the emotional part of rallying around Keegan and the tough decision that he had to make. I'm thinking big things for the USA team.
Lee, how you know these guys? I want to ask this question the right way. My question is, how important is being on the Ryder Cup team and winning a Ryder Cup, a team event, compared to individually winning a major or the players or whatnot? And that's a big, broad question. I know that there's a lot of layers to that. But compare the importance and the emotional importance to, not the financial, the emotional importance to a player, a really good tour player, being on a winning Ryder Cup team as compared to winning a major, having individual accomplishments.
Yeah, I think it's right up there, Frank, because you don't get this chance very often. Even when a high-level player dreams in an individual sport to win a major championship or a major golf tournament, such as the four majors and the Players' Championship, a high-level player will get 5 chances at that a year. And meanwhile, the Ryder Cup is just once every 2 years, and the President's Cup is once every 2 years. So the team event, the match play format, some of those types of things that maybe we're not as accustomed to, and that it's much more rare. It may not be something that they dream of while they're winning AJGA tournaments and college tournaments and all of that type of thing. They more dream of making the squad. But I think once you make the squad, winning the event is just a carrot that probably holds as much prominence and as much pride when you're playing for your country that any other event does. And then obviously when you go on to the opponent's soil and getting crowds to shut up and making putts and deflating those hometown crowds, I think it carries a lot of weight. Really, probably stands on its own because it's a team event. But at the same time, I think probably is right up there with winning a big-time tournament.
Do we get to control, does the U.S. team get to control, with it being at Bethpage Black, pin placements, like how the course is set up? Or is there like an independent group that handles that doesn't have a bias? How do they do that with the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, we do. We get to control. I mean, ultimately, a lot of that will be Keegan's decision. But they'll certainly have a significant amount of input on rough heights and green speeds and fairway widths and even formats being played in the morning and in the afternoon. Sometimes, typically, the U.S. might have been a little bit better in the better ball format or in the 4-ball format versus the foursomes format. So sometimes to create some momentum, you may want to place that format that you may be over the years or historically a little bit better at. You want to put that first in a day. So, yeah, the home team will really have a lot of input on how the golf course is set up, and certainly they'll want to take it and try to set it up to their advantage. And maybe one step further, Hayes, is that, in recent years as data and analytics has become much more prevalent, a lot of that course setup and pairings and that type of thing will be driven, maybe even more and more as the years go by science as it is an art. So, yeah, Keegan will have a big impact on that, and certainly will try to set it up based on his data and his feel to give the Americans as much of an advantage as possible.
In the next couple of Thursdays, we'll certainly spend some time previewing that, where it's right around the corner. Final thing here, Lee. We think of this in football country as the golf season has sort of come to an end. On Ryder Cup years, it maybe ends with the Ryder Cup, not just the Tour Championship. But there's also a FedEx Cup fall schedule. It's a 7-event schedule, and it really affects eligibility of some players for next year. Explain how that came about and the significance of it and kind of really what it is.
Yeah, it sure does. Similar to, as you say, to other sports, they have their regular season and then culminates in golf with the playoff events. But, as you saw, the playoffs start with 70 and then to 50 and then to 30, and each event that you make gains you status or entrance into certain events. And the FedEx Cup fall is no different. There's 7 events in the fall. There's, the folks that end in the top 100 this year versus 125 will retain their full playing status for the following year. And so when you remove, 20% of the cards, it certainly makes it a little bit more competitive and kind of aids into that, that parity discussion and that meritocracy to try to achieve full status, because now the folks that or the players that end in 101 to 125 will only have conditional status for the following year's schedule. And I think for the listeners at home to draw context maybe to last year, but, names that we heard a little bit more of during the season this year, Nico Echeverria, Maverick McNeely were winners last year in the fall, so their momentum, had good seasons this year. And names like Harris English and Ben Griffin were prominent players in those 7 events last fall that obviously had great years in 2025 and made the Ryder Cup team. So, there's really the emergence of stars, new stars, young stars, new names, and then the opportunity to gain status and really gain momentum as you head into next season. So it's a really important part of the schedule and an opportunity for fans to tune in and see kind of tomorrow's stars or next year's big names.
Yeah, and the final event of that tour is right up the road, the RSM Davis Love's event up at Sea Island. That's the last one. So that's the last one. That really is the last one of the season, the fall season, if you will. So a lot of good golf being played, no question about it. Lee Smith does a terrific job. He is the executive director of the Players Championship and does a terrific job as our golf analyst as well. Lee, enjoy your day out there, man. We appreciate you spending some time. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. I'll see you at the game on Sunday.
You know what? I'll look for you. I'll be there, as a matter of fact, Lee. So that'll be great.
I bet you will.
See you, bud. Take care.
We'll see.
Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, all-time good guy, and boy, does he know golf. Boy,
oh yeah.
Again, I say this all the time. I don't know that I've ever been around anybody that can explain golf. There's nothing he doesn't understand about it.
Well, and it's really interesting, the ins and outs of the Ryder Cup, because unless you're just a diehard, you forget. Like, it's every couple of years, so it's good. Maybe that's why he has confidence in our side, which is great, and maybe that the way they can set up the course lends itself to that.
So we'll see if it plays out that way. And again, we got a couple more weeks to preview. We got a half an hour to go for our stint here at Firehouse Subs, but the day's just getting started. the more important people than us, the Jaguar folks, come by. The D-line will be here. The Roar will be here. Jackson DeVille will be here. And some players will be by between 4 and 7 o'clock tonight. All kind of Jaguar happenings. They're giving away subs for a year to somebody, Hayes. Subs for a year. That's really cool. All kind of other giveaways as well. So come on by. A celebration on 904 Day here at Firehouse Subs on University Boulevard, just north of Terry Road, probably a little bit south of Beach Boulevard if you know this area. Come on by and see the folks here at Firehouse Subs. Back in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Follow the Florida Gators on 1010XL.
Gators!
The Gators hook horns with the South Florida Bulls. Kickoff at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Welcome to the Bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst in St. Augustine at 904-940-9740.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great, great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Hey, it's Joe C. When was the last time you flushed out your water heater? Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan. So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality in a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home, or a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool, or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
1010 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10
take.
The 10-10 take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. My take is this. I think you're about to see a really physical Jaguars football team. I haven't predicted wins and losses in a while. I'm not sure how many they're going to win or how many they're going to lose, the whole bit. But I will tell you, it is going to be a physical football team this year, and I think maybe as physical as we've seen in a long time. I think Liam Cohen wants to run the football. At least they're not saying, nor should they, but that's who he is. That's who they have been. Tough, hard-nosed, really physical football team, and I think that's what you win with. By the way, a team like that is holding the trophy. You're going to see them tonight. I'm not saying they're going to be as physical as the Eagles, but I think you're going to see a really physical football team, and that is the 10-10 take.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think if you're the Jaguars, you need to look to the Chargers model a little bit on how they handled the first year. Now, obviously, Liam Cohen's a first-time head coach. Jim Harbaugh had been a head coach for a long time with a good amount of success at multiple stops. But I think there's a lot of similarities in terms of how Harbaugh went about building the Chargers back and did a nice job in their first year. They made the playoffs. And it was almost to de-emphasize the splashy passing. You know, he before Harbaugh, it was Justin Herbert throwing to Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and the passing game. And the run game was sort of an afterthought. Harbaugh came into L.A. and said, no, that is going to be how we build this. They drafted Joe Alt at right tackle. They really invested in being physical in the run game, and it helped. And Herbert didn't have great numbers, but the team had better success because they were able to establish the run in a very difficult division and had a nice season. I think it's similar here. I mean, I just think that if you can, the division is there for the taking. If you can be the toughest team on both sides of the ball, the most balanced, tough team, you have a great chance to win this division, and it's got to start with the ground game. They obviously have Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown and Parker Washington and Brenton Strange. And I mean, they've got weapons, but they've got to run the ball. And when you look at the two games that Tampa played against Carolina last year, they ran for over 200 yards in both those matchups. So I don't know how it's going to break down in terms of who's getting the carries, but I'd be surprised if one of these four backs, if not two of these four backs, have pretty big days in terms of contributions Sunday against the Panthers, because I agree with you. It's got to start there. You've got to take some of the heat off of your quarterback who's still kind of trying to find his way. And again, look at what the Chargers did. It made a lot of sense. And I think it's the same thing here for the Jaguars in year one with Liam Cohen.
Yeah, let's just talk about the game tonight. What are your expectations tonight? Dallas and Philadelphia. We're not doing our picks till tomorrow, so it's not in our picks. What are your expectations?
I like the Eagles. I think they're just too well-rounded. Dallas, I think, has the feel of now Cincinnati NFC. You know, that version where they'll be very impressive with what they're able to do offensively with Dak and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Ferguson at tight end. So Dallas is going to have their moments on offense, even though I wasn't a fan of the Schottenheimer hire. But I just think they have so much talent that they will make some explosive things happen tonight. But Philly's just too good on both sides of the ball. I mean, you know that, Dallas's defense without Micah Parsons is going to fall apart. And so I just think with the balance the Eagles have, I think Saquon has a good night. You know, I don't know that it'll be outstanding, but I think he has a good night. And I think Jalen Hurts will do enough with A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Goddard at tight end that I would think it's, I don't know, 31-20 kind of game, something like that.
Is Philadelphia the team to beat in the NFL? I saw power rankings the other day from, I think the Ravens got the ESPN. Did you see that?
I like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, but I think it's very tight. I've got it Ravens over Eagles.
And I think the power poll I saw was the ESPN power poll. Ravens won, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills. Was that it? It was.
Makes sense.
I think that was it.
Yeah, I mean there's about 5 elite clubs. Then there's 10 clubs that are sort of in that middle upper class. But I think there's like 5 really elite squads, and certainly Philadelphia is in that, and Dallas is not, and it's in Philly. They're obviously celebrating the World Championship. So I would anticipate that a really good night for the Philadelphia side.
We'll preview some of the season tomorrow, but why do you like the Ravens? Why did they and you like the Ravens to win it all?
First off, I'm married to a Ravens fan, so it starts there.
Fair. That's fair.
In all seriousness, I like. I just think it's their time. You could say the same thing for Buffalo, and I understand that. I just think the Ravens have more. It's not all on Lamar, like it's all on Josh Allen in Buffalo. Lamar does have the Yulee bulldozer. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got 2 good tight ends. He won't have Likely in week 1, but eventually Isaiah Likely will be back. And I just think they're better defensively than Buffalo. And the special teams. I mean, I think the kicker, Loop, the rookie that's taking over for Justin Tucker, he's probably going to be really good because the Ravens don't tend to miss on decisions like that. So I think there's some of it's just sort of their turn. They've been so close. And so I think this is the year the Ravens get it done. But I do think the Eagles get back. The NFC is not as strong as the AFC. But I think maybe Green Bay. I'm down on Detroit. I really don't. I can't fully believe in anybody in the NFC West to win the whole thing. I think San Fran will be better. And in Washington, I think will have their moments. But I think they'd have to come out of the wild card side of things. So I like the Ravens, I like the Eagles, and I think the Ravens won it all.
Yeah, the Yulee bulldozer, obviously, you can tell by his play, he's nearing the end of his career. Yeah. I think another 10 years, he's done. Okay,
right.
I think 44, 45 is as far as he's going to go. It's amazing how good Derrick Henry is this far into his career when evidence tells us running backs run out of gas in their early 30s. It's amazing.
Particularly with his style.
Yes.
I mean, he's not an airback. You could kind of understand it with, maybe an Alvin Kamara if he's able to play into 33, 34 and play at a high level, and maybe he can't. But, with Derrick, his game is the physical running. I mean, he's obviously got incredible speed, too, for his size. But it's just amazing that all the hits that he's taken, and it doesn't seem like it's had any effect on his body. And I could really credit the Ravens because that was a really savvy signing. They were rewarded handsomely with it last year in year 1. And I have no doubt that if Derrick Henry stays healthy, he's going to be right back in that 1,600, 1,700-yard range with 15 to 20 touchdowns.
No doubt. Totally agree. Let's take a break. One more segment to go live from Firehouse. We'll be here to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Yo, you already know it's your main man, E.T. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails. Served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Jacksonville,
It's game time, and just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where we've been today on the program, a lot of Jaguar talk, but we've been live from Firehouse Subs here on University Boulevard, just a hair north of Terry Road and a little bit north of Barnes Road, close to Inglewood High School. Inglewood Territory is where we are today. So
we're not too far from the statue, the Frangie statue.
Well, that's it. You know,
do they have that? I always forget. Is it with you in mid windup?
Well,
or are you releasing the pitch?
First of all true. And let me just tell you this, okay? If you drive by there on the way out here, in the off chance that it's missing,
are they working on it?
Maintenance.
Okay, renovating it.
Yeah, okay. Again, the off chance, it's all about maintenance. Okay, so there's that. But we are nearby. I did grow up in this area. Grew up about a mile from here. But thanks to our friends at Firehouse, and they're proud of their relationship with the Jaguars. They've got the brand new Jag stack out here, and man, are they giving away some fun stuff. We're just the opening act. The real act come after us. The D line will be here. Members of the Roar will be here. Jackson DeVille will be here. Some of the players will be here to sign autographs, so it's certainly a fun day here. We talked some Jaguars football today, as we always do. We're getting you ready for the Panthers, and we talked about the Eagles and Cowboys a moment ago. Greg McGarity stopped by from the Gator Bowl. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl. The Gator Bowl College Football Report was today. Greg had some good thoughts about where the college game is headed already after one weekend of college football. Lee Smith was here to talk golf. Nobody does it better. We talked all about the incoming Ryder Cup, also about the FedEx Cup fall schedule. So a lot of fun stuff going on today on the program. Tomorrow, all about getting you ready for the first Jags weekend. We'll talk some college football. We'll do our picks. Pete Prisco stops by as well. So a busy Friday as always on the program. We're looking forward to it tomorrow. I'm like you. I'm looking forward to Dallas, Philadelphia. Last weekend was the week to get ready for college football. This is the weekend to get ready for the NFL with games tonight. And to your point you made earlier, tomorrow night as well. You get Cowboys and Eagles on one night, Chiefs and Chargers on the next night, and we haven't even gotten the NFL Sunday yet. So it's going to be a great weekend in college football. Not a whole lot going on. In NFL football. Not a whole lot going on in the college world. I will tell you this. We'll talk more about it tomorrow on the program. But I am interested, and I will talk more about the significance. You hear me say it all the time, Hayes. There's games you have to win, and there's games you better not lose. For the Gators, they cannot lose that game Saturday. They cannot. They cannot lose. They have when that game ends. When that game ends, hopefully it will be a win. I think they will win. They will have 10 games left. Okay, 8 of the remaining teams are ranked in this week's poll. I want you to think about that for a second. After that game is played tomorrow, 8 of the remaining 10 teams, 8. I just did the math. I went to Inglewood, I told you. That's 80%. Okay, I did it on my calculator.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm like that. So, but think about it. 8 of the 10 are ranked. 4 of the 8 are in the top 10. That's who's left on the schedule. It's one of the most brutal schedules I've ever seen. And if you factor in the fact, by the way, that USF, one of the not ranked teams, is pretty good. It'll be. And the other 2 teams, Kentucky, Mississippi State, won easily on their first week as well. It is a brutal schedule, so you cannot, under any circumstances, they cannot lose that game Saturday.
Yeah, if they lose Saturday, then the season's basically over.
It really is.
In terms of them doing anything of consequence. This is what I would say, though, about I think they're going to beat USF. It may not be pretty,
I do too.
But I do think they'll have one more point, at least, than the Bulls. This is what I would say. They need to go 10-2. They don't have to. This isn't the old system where you need to run the table, or maybe you can lose once. We know Florida can lose at least 2 games. might be able to lose 3 games, depending on when the 3 occurred and what else is going on around the nation. Because I don't think a 3-loss Florida is going to trump certainly an undefeated team, but a 1-loss team from a minor conference or a less competitive conference. I think the 1-loss team gets in. But if they could go 10-2, so you have 2 mulligans, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't think there's any chance Florida would get left out at 10-2, even if the 2 losses occurred deep in the year. Let's say they lost to Tennessee and Florida State to close the year. Well, they'd be number 1 going into those, so you're not going to fall from 1 out of the 12, losing to 2 teams like that. So it's still incredibly difficult, but look through it from that prism of you got 2,
right?
2 just mulligans,
right?
So you just can't let it get to 3, and we'll see. It's going to be a fascinating season. And look, the great thing about it as a fan, every Saturday is a fantastic
Well, that's
game.
the good thing. Yeah, you're excited. There's no gimmies. Let me say this about the playoff, by the way. I will say this, and again, we're only going to have 2 years of a 12-team playoff. Then we all agree it's going to go to 16 next year, where there will be some 9-3 teams in. But if it was going to stay at 12 and it was going to stay at 12 for the long haul, if ever a 9-3 team was going to make it, it'd be a team with the schedule,
without a doubt.
I mean, if you really, again, you think about it, 8 ranked teams, 4 in the top 10. They've got to play Texas and Georgia, road games at LSU and Miami, road game at Texas A&M, home game against Tennessee.
Road game at Ole Miss.
Road game at Ole Miss. Home game against what looks like a good FSU team. If ever, I will tell you this, in this last year of 12, I'll bet 9-3 they're in. I'll bet
There's a chance,
and you don't know because you don't know what anybody else is going to do, and I know that.
There could be 4 or 5,
Correct.
11-1 Indiana.
That's right. I get it. But I'll bet you, without knowing any of that, with this schedule, because 9-3 means you beat some of those guys.
Right.
Okay. 9-3 with this schedule means you've got some really good wins. Okay.
Well, let's just go. Let's say they lost at LSU, home against Texas, and they lost to Georgia.
Okay.
All right. So those are the 3.
Okay.
So
at LSU, home against Texas. Okay. That means they won at Miami.
Correct.
That means they beat Tennessee, won at Ole Miss, beat Florida State,
won at Texas A&M.
Won at Texas A&M. Yeah, that team's in.
Yeah, probably.
Barring something crazy,
no one would have a better slate of victories.
Right. That's you'd have some really good. So
and 10-2, there's no doubt. I mean, they're not just in; they're like the 7 or 8.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the good in this brutal schedule. Is the bad is you can look up and be 6-6.
Sure,
that's the bad of it.
You could be 4-8.
Yeah,
I mean, theoretically,
4-8 would surprise me.
Me
7-5 would not shock me.
How could it?
Yeah, correct. So that's the point to this schedule, the good and the bad of it. So we'll see. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But again, the point to this topic was this is not a game they under no circumstance. And I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't think USF was pretty good. I think USF. I don't know if what we saw last week against Boise is who they are, and if this Florida game is one of the few they're going to play against a top 15 team on the road that's from a Power 4 conference, that's a 10-win team. That's a 9. I mean, would you be surprised if you look up and USF is 9-3, 10-2?
Not at all.
Not if what we saw last week is real, and what that's the only evidence we have. So it'll be interesting to see the way this whole thing plays out. But anyway, we are glad you are with us. We are excited about a football weekend. We are just a few days away now from the first Jaguars game, and they're celebrating it here at Firehouse Subs one more time. The Roar has already started to make their way here. The D-line is right around the corner. They're coming. Jackson DeVille, he's going to be having a big time when he gets here. So Jackson DeVille is right around the corner as well. We're looking forward to that. And, of course, some Jaguar players are going to be here signing autographs as well. Everybody here having a big time, partying, having a big time here at Firehouse Subs. I'm ready for football. You ready for football?
Let's do it.
I am ready for some football. Don't forget now, by the way, Jaguars Happy Hour comes up right now. You're going to hear from Tony Baselli. You're going to hear from James Gladstone. And that comes up right now on the program. That's going to do it for us here at Firehouse Subs. Again, thanks to our friends at Firehouse for having us out. We've had a big time here hanging out with our friends at Firehouse Subs. We always do. One more time, come by and see them. You have a chance to win and the fire engine's here too, by the way.
Sweet.
You have a chance to win subs for a year and a whole lot of other fun prizes. We got the fire department here, for God's sake. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us. Jaguars Happy Hour is next. This is 1010XL on 92.5 FM.